Welcome back. He is a successful TV film producer. He's a writer, and he has done so many things, a singer, but he's here telling us about his remarkable heart surgery procedure, and he is a survivor. He's here to help us bring awareness to Heart Health Month with his new memoir, Journey of the Heart. Please welcome Richard Crystal. Welcome. You know, the last name rings a bell, Richard. Do we have a picture? Because I just want to touch base on this slightly. How much you look like your brother, the iconic, actor, comedian Billy. You grew up in a fun household.
Yep.
What wasn't fun is the day that you discovered that you needed a heart replacement, a valve replacement.
Right.
How did that come about?
Well, actually, I was, we were all very athletic growing up. I was the point guard on my basketball team. I was the pitcher on the baseball team. And then when I was in my early 40s, I had my annual physical, and my doctor heard a murmur in my heart. So I went to the cardiologist, and he discovered that I had a faulty aortal valve, and it was congenital. I was actually born with it.
And no one had detected it until the early 40s.
That's right.
My goodness.
And,
wow.
And then, so what happened was I would have my annual physical, and then when I was in my early 60s, I was playing golf, and I got chest pains. And so I went immediately to have it checked out, and then my surgeon said that, we got to replace it.
Wow.
It was shrinking, and, it was closing down. And if I didn't have the surgery, I had about 3 years to live.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is a procedure. This isn't like just come in and it's an outpatient.
No.
This is a big deal.
It's a big deal. And I think what the book and what I wrote about in the book is that because you're facing your mortality, the heart is such a major thing, that it just triggers all these emotional reactions,
Yeah,
Oh, I bet.
because the book is not just, you walk us through every step of the procedure, the before, the after, all of it, but it really is a book full of memories and life experiences. And a lot of them are really based around your mom, and what an inspiration she has been to you. Tell us about your mother.
Well, when I grew up, moms were at home. And I was one of 3 boys, and we were wild. And we lived in this little 900-square-foot house.
And you're the middle age, right?
I'm in the middle.
One. There you go.
And Long Beach, Long Island. There's that was Valentine's Day, 1951. And my mom was, we were doing bits. That's Billy and me. And then, she would design all the costumes for our school plays. She came to every game that I ever played on the high school basketball team and stuff. And she was my biggest fan. And
she loved to laugh.
She loved to laugh, and she had a great sense of humor. She was a fantastic athlete. And, we became very, very good friends.
Sure.
So, I have a whole chapter that I write about my mom, and her nickname was the Big Girl. That was, and she was a very special person.
Well, as much as you adore your mom, there's somebody else who adores your mom.
Just as much.
Just as much. And actually she got to him first.
Yes. Well, you're talking about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah.
And we're at the forward to your book, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Kareem had quadruple bypass a few years ago. And so when I was told that the book had sold and they were going to publish it, he was the person that I wanted to write the foreword, and he was,
But how did Mom? Was she on this pickup basketball league?
So in 1965, Kareem was the #1 high school player in the country. He played at Powell Memorial High School in New York, and his name was Lou Alcindor at that time. He had become very good friends with a friend of our family who lived in Long Beach, Long Island, where we grew up. So that summer, he brought Lou out to meet us and, to hang out in Long Beach. And, it's a beautiful beach, and it's a great basketball game that was played at the schoolyards there. So anyway, our friend Neil brings Lou to our house, and we weren't home for some reason. There were no cell phones to check and stuff like that. Knocks on the door. My mom answers the door, and there's this guy, 7'2". So anyway, they just hit it off.
Oh, my gosh.
So many years later, when I moved to Los Angeles, he became, the center for the Lakers.
Yeah.
And it ended up that our kids were in the same class at school.
Oh, my goodness.
Of all of Los Angeles?
Of all of Los
Well, that
Angeles.
was meant to be.
Yeah. So
my goodness.
we met again at a parents' conference, and we became, dear friends. And then he asked me to produce his life story for the NBA when he retired. And we won the best sports video that year in the International Film and Television.
Oh my God!
Congratulations!
Yeah. That was 1989.
Yeah.
And then a few years later, we stay in touch, and so he called me to see how I was doing and everything. And I said, so what's going on? I said, hey, my mom says hello. She's in town. And he said, I'm coming over. I got to see her. And that shot that we showed before was when that's in our breakfast room, and he came over and sat with my mom and hung out. That's the kind of guy. He's really a very, very special man.
This entire book is filled with stories like that, and it is all based around your family. This really is a love letter to your family.
Yeah, well, when I got into writing it, the spine of the book is what happened with the heart surgery. Mm-hmm. But what I really cherish now are all these wonderful things that I've had in my life, and all the people and family that, I have such a fantastic family. And, my love that's my wife. We were married in Los Angeles, 1976. We're married 41 years.
Wow, congratulations.
And that's me a couple of Father's Days ago. That's my son-in-law, Lee, and my grandson, Max, who was just born, and my granddaughter, Coco, who is now 6.5, and Max is 2.5.
Oh, cute.
And, I just celebrated my 9th anniversary since the surgery, and I wouldn't have known those two little people.
That's right. That's right.
So it's, I'm a very lucky guy.
Well, thank you for helping us celebrate and bring awareness to Heart Health Month for February. And, your journey is just remarkable. And the book, by the way, full of wonderful stories and photos. Journey of the Heart is the name of it. It's a blueprint for anyone who's facing serious surgery. More information by visiting hallmarkchannel.com. Richard says, come on by my website. The information is there at the bottom of your screen as well.
Thank you so much, Richard.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
You all stick around. Orly's up next.
If you have a pint-sized fashion lover in the family, I have a fantastic DIY for you coming up next. Don't go anywhere.